Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week, barriers that prevent vehicles from coming onto campus have been down for 2 weeks. Who's responsible to put them back up? We have the answer.
What's it like trying to raise kids in a big city? We'll take a look at how location can change parenting.
In sports, an unlikely team took men's soccer to overtime on Tuesday. We'll have all the nail-biting action.
Jonathan O is here with a look at your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
All that plus a look inside a very different kind of hospital. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
We finally have an answer for why sidewalk barriers are down and who's responsible to put them back up. Good evening and welcome to the September 27th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Kate Schoen.
And I'm Alex Villarreal. 6 months after Mohammed Tahir-Yazar's pit attack, some people are worried that safeguards aren't in place to keep it from happening again. Jessica Floyd is live in Carroll Hall. She's been looking into how easy it would be for a vehicle to drive onto campus. Jessica, what did you find out?
Alex, many of us come onto Central Campus by walking in between Wilson Library and the undergrad library. We've been looking into how easy it would be to get a vehicle onto this walkway and within seconds into the pit. We started our video diary 2 weeks ago and spot checked this set of bollards between Wilson and the undergraduate libraries nearly 3 dozen times. Only twice were all of the bollards up. This spot is only 200 yards from the pit, and that makes some students nervous.
I wish they would put them up and be more cautious of the people that were there because we are nervous.
When barriers are down, there's more than enough room for vehicles to get through. Take a look at this large construction vehicle and how easily it can get onto campus. Now, some bollards, like these near Lenoir, are up the way they should be, but some places on campus don't have any bollards at all, leaving the area completely open for a vehicle to get through. There's been some confusion about who's supposed to put the bollards back up. DPS spokesman Randy Young.
We just don't talk about operations per se. That I wouldn't know, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Jim Alty is the director of grounds for UNC.
What's certainly come to light with the pit incident is that people are more sensitive to making sure the bollards stay up at all times.
Right after the pit incident, I did notice them down probably a day or two after they were down. And then every time I walk by, I do look at them, and most of the time they are down.
Alty says the bollards have been down frequently because of construction work in the pit area. But he says campus safety comes first, and it's his department that's responsible for putting the bollards back in place.
Keeping the bollards up is very important for us as a department to protect the security of the students and the staff and the faculty that use the area. We welcome anybody contacting us to let us know if they see them down so that we can get them up as promptly as possible.
DPS spokesman Randy Young called me Wednesday morning to verify that it is facility services' responsibility to replace the bollards.
Jessica, some vehicles do have to get on campus, construction vehicles, delivery trucks. What's supposed to happen with the bollards then?
Alex, someone is supposed to call facility services and arrange for a worker to come and take the bollards down. When the truck leaves, the bollards are supposed to go right back up. Obviously, that has not been happening, but Alty says now that he's aware of the problem, facility services will deal with it.
Jessica Floyd, live in Carroll Hall. Thanks, Jessica.
Franklin Street might look a little different this year on Halloween. More than a month before one of Chapel Hill's biggest celebrations, the Town Council is meeting to discuss possible changes to keep people safe. Last year, nearly 50,000 people came to Franklin Street for the party, and Chapel Hill Police had 365 officers working the crowd. This year, they want to boost that number to 400. The heightened security is a result of the trouble at last year's After Chill when 3 people were shot.
What if you could have lecture notes right at your fingertips? Some universities, such as NC State, have been debating whether to allow professors to sell their lectures online. Now students are wondering if they should hit the books or browse the web. With the increasing prices of textbooks, you might be willing to pay extra cash to avoid taking notes. But student Biff Mann says buying lecture notes online doesn't seem worth the expense.
I don't agree with the professor selling his lecture notes online. I mean, that's what tuition's for, right? You're already paying to get your education, so I think everything should come with that.
There's a simple solution to this high-tech problem. Go to class with a sharpened pencil. U.S. Secretary of Education Margaret Spellings is calling for reform in higher education. Spellings says the U.S. has been the leader in post-secondary education for many years, but now other countries are catching up. She notes that increases in tuition prices, a low number of students graduating on time, and the overwhelming number of recent grads with debt have led to the need for change.
Are you a UNC senior hoping to change the world as soon as you graduate? Then Teach for America might be for you. Teach for America recruiters have been combing universities looking for the program's next crop of teachers. Recruits work for a minimum of 2 years. During that time, they complete intense on-the-job training and take certification courses at night. Some teachers choose to stay with the program for more than 2 years. Senior Travis Starkey says he was attracted to the challenges of the program.
After college, I'm not sure what I want to do, but I do enjoy working with children, and I want an experience that's going to stretch me pretty good. And this seems like an excellent way to do that.
The earlier you apply, the more likely you are to get one of your top 3 placement choices. The first deadline for resumes and essays is Saturday at midnight.
The World Wide Web has become a great tool for research, but has it also become a great tool for cheating? Students are more connected than ever with sources at their fingertips. Many students turn to the internet to conduct their research. Some students are now even turning to searchable databases like Cheaters.com and SchoolSucks.com that offer completed papers for the modern-day cheater. But UNC librarian Lisa Norberg says the university decided against using anti-cheating services.
We believed at that time that it was a violation of students' copyright rights to archive papers that they had written into a database. So we made a conscientious decision not to subscribe.
UNC librarians are working with professors to control and catch cheaters. They also are trying to teach students how to properly document and cite their sources.
We're all familiar with Norton and other antivirus software, and some of us shell out about $50 a year for the protection, but you might be able to stop a virus for free. Online viruses are pieces of computer code that do a lot of damage. A computer virus can do everything from delete files to monitor your personal data. Nobody wants that, so we pay for the antivirus software. But the university offers free virus protection, and many students don't seem to know about it.
Sometimes it's almost as if, okay, we offer this, but it's not available as much as I think it should be.
You can download Symantec antivirus software for free from the ITS website. This works for Windows and Macintosh platforms. To learn more, check out our website at carolinaweek.org. In some places, ordering food is as easy as texting your order and walking in to pick it up. Your cell phone might soon be the key to eliminate waiting in lines like these. Thanks to a company called Mobo, short for Mobile Order, some restaurants in New York and Connecticut are making the wait-free experience a reality. All patrons have to do is register online and fill out a user profile. And you can keep your credit card in your wallet because your information is already in the system. So would something like this work here in Chapel Hill?
I think a company would work, especially because there are so many students that are just so short on time and just looking for something quick.
Mobile ordering won't be coming to Chapel Hill anytime soon, but for more information about the company, go to our website at carolinaweek.org.
Raising kids isn't an easy job wherever you live, but imagine settling down in a city of 8 million people. I interned in New York City this summer and found that family life there can be a lot different than it is here. Andy Merlis and his wife Kathleen have 3 children, but no backyard. In New York City, no one does. So Andy and Kathleen have to be creative to make sure 5-year-old Zeke and 16-month-old twins, Coco and Fifi, get playtime outside of their Brooklyn apartment.
Here I come. You can't just open the door and shoo them out like you can in the country or in the suburbs, but there's enough ways to get them active.
One way is through organized physical activity. Zeke takes classes at Manhattan Taekwondo every Saturday. For Zeke, getting there is part of the fun.
He loves the subway, and he studies it and knows the system probably better than I do.
I'm very good at memorizing subway maps.
Getting around the subway system with babies can be tough.
Just taking twins in a stroller up and down those stairs was just killer. You'd be amazed how few people stop to help you.
Kathleen says raising kids in the city is worth its stresses.
It's a really good experience for them. Like anything, it could be a real nightmare, but I think they're getting a whole different education than they get anywhere else.
Another part of Zeke's New York education is cultural. He once played his cello at Carnegie Hall. Not too many 5-year-olds can put that on their resume. The big city definitely has its advantages, but the question city parents must answer is whether those advantages are worth the sacrifices.
The key wherever you live is spending quality time with the kids, and Andy and Kathleen make sure to do that.
The open sea can be a dangerous place,
even for the creatures that call it home. Coming up, an inside look at a rehabilitation center to get injured sea turtles back on their feet, or should we say, flippers.
Introducing the all-new Enclave. It's a minivan to the max, with features like remote control sliding rear doors, 150 cable channels, a full sky view roof, temperature-controlled cup holders, and the 6-point navigation system. It's the minivan for families on the go.
I just dropped 32 pounds this year, and boy, do I feel better.
Drop it. See how good it feels.
You might know that endangered sea turtles swim along the North Carolina coast. But what happens when they get hurt? Reporter Will Weldon answers this question with an inside look at a very special hospital.
Each year, thousands of endangered sea turtles hatch along North Carolina's beaches and make their way to the ocean. Then they'll try to survive to the age when they can lay their own eggs, probably back here on the North Carolina coast. Sea turtles face numerous threats in the open waters off our coast, and there's only one place in North Carolina that exists just to help injured turtles survive. It's the Sea Turtle Rescue and Rehabilitation Center in Topsail Beach. Gene Beasley started this unique hospital as a way of helping the many sick turtles that were being brought in.
One of the first things that we teach our volunteers is that these are wild animals. Our mission is to get them well and to return them to the wild with as little human imprinting as possible.
The loggerhead, green, and Kemp's Ridley turtles make up the current occupants of the Sea Turtle Hospital. And these fragile creatures come in with a variety of injuries they received. And they stay here at the Sea Turtle Hospital until Gene feels they're able to make it on their own again. The hospital is almost always full to capacity, and Gene wants people to see the work going on there.
Only way we can save sea turtles is through education, to make people aware of what their needs are, of what's happening to them, and to care about them.
The future for most of these turtles is that they'll be tagged and returned to the deep blue wilderness. Jean and her crew usually do 2 releases a year, one in June, one in September. When there are fewer boats in the water, they bring the turtles back to the beach and release them into the ocean. As long as these beautiful creatures swim along the North Carolina coast and face uncertain threats, there will likely be a shelter for them here. At Topsail Beach, I'm Will Weldon, Carolina Week.
If you want to help the sea turtles too, you can buy a Sea Turtle license plate. All proceeds go back to the nonprofit hospital at Topsail.
Many students like to kick off the weekend with a few drinks at Spanky's. But this guy behind the bar wasn't serving drinks on Sunday night. Sweet tea and a Bible replaced the usual martini or rum and coke. The Summit Church now holds seminars at Spanky's to answer questions people have about God. The pastor of the Summit Church, J.D. Greer, says the bar setting makes students more willing to engage in discussions about the Jesus he preaches.
He spoke about things like meaning and purpose, how to not fear death. Those are things that not just religious people question, those are things that everybody questions. And so I think being at Spanky's in a neutral environment has really helped people to be relaxed and to come out and just ask their questions.
The sessions are every Sunday evening at 6:15 until October 15th. The next time you clean out your closet, consider donating your hand-me-downs. A local thrift shop will sell them to help local schools. You've probably noticed the mural outside the PTA thrift shop in Carrboro. For more than 50 years, the store has accepted donated items like clothing, books, and computers. The shop sells the goods and hands over a big chunk of the profits to area schools. This year, more than $250,000 went to Chapel Hill and Carrboro PTAs, and it looks like profits will continue to rise. Operations Manager Felicia Jones says the community makes the store successful.
The dedication and hard work of all the staff, the volunteers, board members, and the surrounding community. Everybody as a one makes that successful.
Through the years, the store has sold everything from a diamond ring to a horse. For more information about making donations, visit our website at carolinaweek.org. Let's now welcome weathercaster Johnny O. Hi, Johnny. How's it going?
Hi, I'm fine.
Hi, Johnny O. So the weatherman looks like he's been on our side lately. It's been beautiful the past few days. What can we expect for the beginning of the next month?
Well, it seems like that good weather is going to continue, and the temperatures are cooling down, and fall is definitely here, but I don't think everyone knows that quite yet. The bees are buzzing as if it were spring. Will the cool down continue, or is this little guy trying to tell us something? I'll have your forecast coming up.
$50 invested in a mutual fund 20 years ago returned $452. $50 in the United Negro College Fund returned an award-winning actor. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
If you're not recycling, you're throwing it all away.
You know, Clarence, you and I should hang out more often. You know, he wears these cheap suits, but they look good on him.
So she says, why lobster?
You never know when a colon polyp is going to show up.
Aunt Ethel, you've been ducking me since '99 at St. Mary's. You
Get
owe
the
me a
polyp
pie.
early and stop colon cancer before it starts.
Do I look fat in this?
Don't wait for symptoms. Get the test. Get the polyp.
They love me. They want me here, don't you? Come on.
Get the cure.
These are my peeps.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Jonathan. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Let's take a look at your weather forecast. We're going to begin with the weather headlines, and we're going to talk about some roller coaster temperatures. It seemed like that we're going to stay consistent in the 70s, and then today it jumped back up almost to the 80s, and we're going to see temperatures kind of going back and forth between the 70s and 80s as we adjust back into the fall temperatures. We're going to expect some possible chance of rain, unfortunately, but it's going to be a very quick shower, so there's a front that's going to just pass through our area really quickly, and then we expect beautiful weekend conditions as we get ready for the first weekend of October. Let's take a look at our North Carolina view of our satellite. We got some clouds here in Charlotte, but everywhere else around it seems very, very clear. And so when you walked outside, you probably saw some very clear skies. And that's the story for most of the United States. We're seeing some clear skies over to the west and down into the southeast in our area. Now notice that there is a disturbance, and this is actually a low pressure system that will be moving its way down to the southeast. If we look at our surface map, notice that there is that low pressure system. High pressure is dominating our area. There's no H there, but obviously there is a high pressure system there, and there's a cold front. This is a very fast mover. By 24 hours on Thursday, we'll see this move toward the south. It seems like that my clicker's not working. Let's see if we can get this next graphic up. There we go. We got a low pressure system and this cold front coming to our area. It's going to jump the mountains, and then by Friday, it's going to be almost out of here. It's a very, very light front in terms of the rain conditions that it brings with it, and then there's this beautiful high pressure system that will dominate our weekend, this coming weekend actually. This is our forecast for Wednesday night. Increasing clouds. You may have a hard time seeing that moon up in the sky because of these clouds. But it will be a dry evening, and the front is not going to be here quite yet. Our lows will be in the mid-50s. And then tomorrow, notice that there are some clouds that will be moving in our area. There's a slight chance of rain, mainly in the evening hours and maybe overnight into Friday, but otherwise mostly dry, a high of 82 degrees. And then for your next 4 days, we'll be expecting temperatures again to bounce up and down. 80s on Thursday, so this is when you want to wear shorts. Temperatures will dip into the upper 50s, and then clearing skies, and then slightly buildup of clouds. Our highs will go from 70s all the way up into the upper 70s again. So like I said, there's a roller coaster temperature setting here, and our lows will be into the 50s, dropping into the 40s, and then back up near 60s by Sunday. If you're headed to the mountains, this is the perfect weekend to go. If you're stressed out about midterm exams and things of that nature, get out and enjoy it because the weather is awesome. It's going to be a little brisky, so make sure you get something, maybe a long sleeve shirt or long sleeve pants. Sunny skies and partly cloudy skies on Sunday, lows will be in the 40s. And then for your beach forecast, we're seeing highs in the mid to upper 70s, lows will be in the mid 50s, and it should be partly cloudy. So if you want to relax, get out and enjoy it because this is the weekend.
Well, I think you've single-handedly convinced me to go to the mountains this weekend.
All right.
Thanks, Johnny.
Sportscaster Brandon Curry joins us now. Brandon, I heard there was a pretty exciting soccer game last night.
A little too exciting, Alex. Coming up in sports, 90 minutes wasn't enough to settle Tuesday night's men's soccer game between Carolina and Elon. But who would come out on top? We have the highlights you don't want to miss coming up.
Come on. And it's a block. What? What kind of kick was that? You've got to be kidding me.
Hey, hot shot. Sounds like you know a lot about the game.
You should put that to use. Come on, let's go take a jog.
There are plenty of ways that you can volunteer in your community.
Just figure out what you like to do and pass it on to others.
And you know what? You can have a lot of fun doing it, too.
Pick those knees up. Keep going. Pick those legs up. Let's go. All right now, show them how to kick that ball.
To find out ways you can volunteer in your community, log on to teensvolunteer.org.
Okay, Ben, here we go, buddy. That was great, Ben. This time, just try to kick the ball.
Do what you like to do. Volunteer.
Welcome back to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Brandon Curry, and I can personally guarantee the football team will not lose this weekend, mostly because it's a bye week. Tuesday night, the men's soccer team took on the Phoenix of Elon. Early first half, Carolina with the corner kick. And there's that cannon. Ben Hunter's going to come up with the header to Teddy Odgers with the impressive bicycle kick, unfortunately sailing too high, but good effort. Still first half, pass to Bill Dworsky. Dworsky aggressively trying to dribble through defenders, gets tripped up, looks for the foul, doesn't get it, but he smiles this one off. It's all part of the game. Later, Zach Lloyd putting on the pressure. Elon not happy about the call. If you watch closely, you can actually see him shoving Lloyd as he walks off the field, but not drawing a foul. In the second half, Scott Campbell with one of the best shots of the night, just missing the net, hitting the crossbar. UNC struggled with Elon's defense all night.
They were really good defensively in terms of getting people behind the ball. Once we found possession, they had everyone back really quickly.
We weren't, pressuring enough and this and that, but we seemed to work it out and shot a fire up our butts.
And with that fire, UNC would go on to win 1-0 in overtime. According to the UNC alma mater, Hark the Sound, we're all Tar Heel born and bred, so how would you like to earn free stuff for being born and bred? Before the Tar Heels men's soccer team takes positions on the field, these students are already in position at the UNC Sports Marketing Born and Bred table. Born and Bred is a new student incentive program designed to improve attendance at all Olympic sporting events. All students have to do is show up to the games and have their UNC One card scanned to become eligible to win gift certificates from various Carolina athletic sponsors. UNC Sports Marketing representative Andrew McGlawn says the program is doing well, and student excitement about the program has been essential in the rising attendance at UNC Olympic sport events.
Right now, for Born and Bred, we have enrolled about 1,300 students. 750 have been to at least one game. Around 500 have been to 5 games.
The Dean Dome saw a rush of excited students earlier this week, but this time they weren't after tickets. When was the last time you saw something like this? Well, thanks to some renovations, students got to snag some seats from the Dean Dome and claim a piece of history. The project will remove more than 22,000 seats from the arena. Friday marked the beginning of a 2-month effort to prepare for the upcoming basketball season. Students flowed in and out of the Dean Dome all day Monday, eager to get the seats as they were removed. After the Dean Dome closed to the public, students started climbing into the dumpsters to claim seats. Workers assured students that new seats would be in place by the start of the basketball season. With no football this weekend, you might be asking yourself, how can I get my Carolina athletics fix? Well, don't worry, there are a number of Olympic sports in action this weekend. Field hockey will take on arch rival Wake Forest, winner of 3 of the past 4 NCAA championships, 1 o'clock on Saturday at Henry Field. On Sunday, field hockey will also welcome William & Mary at 1 o'clock. The women's soccer team, coming off a big win against Miami last week, will host Maryland Sunday at 1 as well. And Carolina Week Sports will have all the highlights. Those sports are a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be out there for women's soccer. Those ladies are fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds great. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you. Well, when you think of a farm, we usually think of a pig or a cow or maybe a horse.
But there are other kinds of farms you might not know about. Coming up, a farm where the residents are all aflutter about their home.
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
I'm alive too.
You know what? I'm alive.
We're alive because of biomedical research.
Biomedical research saves lives. North Carolina Association for Biomedical Research.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Awaken your creativity. Do your thing at the Art School at the Art Center in Carborough.
North Carolina is well known for its farming.
Reporter Katie Klein shows us one North Carolina farm that's nothing like the rest.
Tim Pless is a farmer, but he doesn't have any seeds to plant or fields to plow. He's a butterfly farmer and the only one in North Carolina.
My wife saw butterfly farming on the internet, and so I kind of looked at it, and me being from a male background and sport background said, honey, I don't want to be a butterfly farmer.
His company, All Aflutter, first sold butterflies over the internet for special occasions. And 3 years ago, they started giving tours of their farm in High Point.
We really wanted to educate the community on butterflies, and that's why we do the presentation and give the people an opportunity to come in and be real close to the butterflies.
One stop on the tour is here in the Flight House. Visitors get a chance to catch butterflies of their own.
Lots of times you go to different places and you can see them, but you really can't be up close to them, and I think this gives them the kids hands-on experience.
It's all science.
People of all ages come during butterfly season, from April until October.
It's pretty, it looks brand new, like it just hatched. I think it's cool, and I've never caught a butterfly before.
But for Pless, it's just another day on the farm, and it looks like he's gotten over his issues with raising butterflies.
You see the black ones, you see the orange ones?
In High Point, I'm Katie Klein, Carolina Week.
I don't know. I think we might have to make our way over there for one of those butterfly tours.
Those butterflies were just beautiful.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night.